guys, agents and managers, do you think it's harder for a senior actor to get representation in this day and age, or
not commercially?
Not commercially.
There's a lot of purchasing power in the senior community. The advertisers know that. There's a lot of commercials that are looking for the dancing grandma, the bungee jumping grandfather. So there is a lot. So a lot of our senior actors are working, and we're very happy about that, and they are too.
Right, Tim. What would your advice be to someone who's stepped out of the business for a while to raise a family or to start a family and then comes back into the business?
Well, honestly, my advice would be that so much of the talent side is driven by video these days. I mean, everyone has reels, everyone has scenes. They all want to be able to see it. You touched on it. I know I'm sure it's a frustration on a casting director level, but there's very little imagination. And quite frankly, there's like 3 levels at least of approvals. So even if you see it, do the producers see it? Even if they see it, does the network see it? And everybody wants to have it delivered exactly. Here it is. It's exactly what you want, bum, bum, bum. So based on that, I think if an actor really wants to re-enter the business, they should take the time to find a partner or 2, work up 2, maybe 3 really terrific scenes, figure out how to get them actually shot. I mean, it doesn't have to be broadcast level or anything, but it should not be self-tape level. It should be, simple master close-up. It should see people work. There should be a scene with a transition in it so people can see how you go change direction, so to speak, as a character. Hopefully there's a little variation, and it should be something you're very castable in. And it shouldn't be something that's so iconic that when people watch it, all they can think about is, but when Marlon Brando did that scene, there's a ton of material out there, and a lot of it's quite good. And if you see a scene, I mean, there are 9 million Netflix shows. So if you see a great scene on a Netflix show, there's very little chance that everyone is going to only remember the person who did it. So that would be my advice, because then you have something to show people that agents and managers are in the business of selling you. I mean, that's what they are. And you have to give them the tools to sell you. And a great picture and I agree with everything that's said, but I also think in the real world, there's nobody over 50 in this business that hasn't watched somebody that used to be an assistant and now they have to sell to. Or now they're, you have to, credits from 20 years ago will unfortunately not have a lot of weight. Maybe they should, but they won't. So you got to give it to them today. You got to show them what you can do today. And if you do that, I think then, yes, on the other hand, I think opportunities for diverse actors, opportunities for older actors, they're certainly growing. They may not be where they need to be, and they may not be of the quality they ought to be, but they are certainly growing. So I think the opportunity is there.
Yeah. Tracy and Kim. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to add very quickly, I agree with everything that you said, and I think it's really just important. I mean, I had to make the decision to represent myself, to make it a point to educate the casting directors and those that I'm working with, and just represent myself. I actually created 2 trailers to show my skill and show what I was capable of. So I created 2 stories, had different characters in there, and I, envisioned how that would look and created those trailers to be able to show people not only my creativity, but my skill in being able to transition within various characters and follow that storyline. So that was my approach and how I chose to sell myself instead of waiting for an agent to sell for me.
Julia and Tracy, would you agree with some of the statements? What are you looking for? And if someone came to you and said, I've been out of the business for 10 years and I'm looking to get back into the business, what would you say to them?
I think what Tim said is absolutely perfect. Perfect. it makes you fresh again. And that in commercial world, you know, freshness, they keep saying fresh faces. So it's great that you were able to take a break. And I think everyone is welcome to come back in, definitely.
When I left 15 years ago to go up. I just left the business because what you say is you're always going to be an actor, whether you're an actor here or not, or in Hollywood or not, you're an actor, you're an artist. So I left, and what I did, professor of theater, but acting, directing. So I continued teaching and directing actors. When I came back, it's as if I didn't miss a beat, because there's something in staying in your art form and working with other artists and bringing up talent that is just absolutely nurturing, takes the focus off you, which is what acting's about. So if you're thinking of taking that break, you're always an actor. Even if you're not doing it in this business, you're an artist. Stay as close as you can, especially nurturing young people.
You know, piggybacking on what you were saying, CJ, about staying creative and all of that, I think a lot of it is the writers. The key is the writers. Because as the writers grow and add us in our age category, et cetera, that opens up opportunities. I look at 2 films that I did in the last 9 months, both young writers, both who had great respect for the matriarchs, which I loved everything that we said about all of that too, respecting the older people, et cetera. When you have these young writers who come from families, who come from heritage, and they see us as the wise old owls or whatever, they write some beautiful stuff. And the more they write, the more we get to interact with the younger people. And I love interacting with the younger people because they keep me on my toes. And the more that I can be with them, the sharper I get. But I think it starts with the writer. They're like the mother, the father, the creator. And we just need them to keep writing these roles for us because it's fantastic. I mean, obviously with Grace and Frankie, we hit the jackpot on that one, you know, all those great roles. But I've seen it with young people that have great respect for older people, and they get very excited when grandma or grandpa come on set and they know what your background is and they've offered you this role. So write. And we can write our own stuff too, you know. There's nothing wrong with taking on both things.